My name is Ada Pedicic and I am the chairman, and Annika Ablash is the timekeeper. The adjudicator is Miss Herden. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide. The affirmative team seated to my right is from St Thomas Gifford. The negative team seated to my left is from Parkside Primary. The speaking time for this debate is 3 minutes. A single warning bell will sound 1 minute before the speaking time, and a double bell will sound at the speaking time. Please ensure that your mobile phones and other electronic devices are switched off. I declare this debate open and call upon the first affirmative speaker, Allegra Lazaro.
Oh goodness, sorry. My God, I should go check. That's alright. I left for you, sorry.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We define the topic as e-scooters, means a device with two 10-inch wheels that has handlebars, is designed to be ridden by the user and is powered by an electric motor that propels the device at a speed around 32 kilometres per hour on a paved surface. In Adelaide means the state in Australia should be banned, meaning they should be taken away due to the serious safety concerns. We, the affirmative team, believe that e-scooters must be banned. Today, as first speaker, I will be talking to you about how they're unsafe, they can be a tripping hazard, and how they're not accessible for everyone. Our second speaker will be talking to you about how people can misuse them, they are bad for the environment, and how it is unsafe for people walking on the streets of Adelaide. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team's case. My first point is that e-scooters are unsafe for people to ride. This is because CBSNews.com reports that a recent study by Consumer Reports shows that more than 8 people died while using a rented e-scooter since 2017, while another 1,500 were injured. And Box.com reports that e-scooters are illegal in England and many states in America due to the danger they pose. The negative team tonight might try to tell you that there are many rules to make sure scooters are safe for riders. However, ABC.net reported that many riders are disobeying the laws with 264 cautions issued by the police since the trial began, so people are clearly not following the rules. So e-scooters are very dangerous and must absolutely be banned. My second point is that they can become a tripping hazard. Guardian.com states that lots of blind and disabled people have been struggling to walk on the footpaths since they feel they are going to trip. There are no parking docks for e-scooters in Adelaide, so people are just leaving them around, sometimes even falling over. We need to help and support the blind and disabled, not make life harder for them as it already is. This demonstrates that e-scooters are a tripping hazard and a bad idea. My third and final point is that e-scooters are not accessible for everyone. This is because in order for them to work, you have to have an app on a device. According to BankMySell.com, on average, only 69% of Australians have a phone, so the other 31% will not be able to access the app. Also, in a survey on BudgetDirect.com, 60% of people don't want e-scooters in their state, and only 40% would actually use them. This is why e-scooters are not a great idea, because they are not accessible for everyone. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we the affirmative team believe that e-scooters in Adelaide must be banned. As Auckland Transport Chairman Lester Levy states that from the outset of e-scooters are serious safety concerns. These safety concerns are right and we must pay attention to them. Thank you.
now call upon the first negative speaker, Naomi Lees.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We agree with the definition given by the Affirmative team. However, we believe this statement is false. The first Affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that this is a safety hazard for many people. However, the Queensland Ambulance Service says that people are to blame, not the e-scooters. So you have to rely on people to act carefully. They have also said that e-scooters are a tripping hazard for blind people. This is wrong because there are designated places to put them, and fines will be issued if they are misplaced. Today's first speaker, I'll be talking to you about how these scooters will be a better option for short trips, how they are environmentally friendly, and that the technology of e-scooters is constantly improving. Our second speaker will be talking about the fact that they are gaining popularity and that innovation is something that should be encouraged instead of being shot down. Then finally, our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. To our first point, that cars are impractical for short trips and that e-scooters are a much more suitable option. According to InDaily, about 12% of trips in capital cities such as Adelaide are between 1 and 2.5 kilometres, with 84% of people making these trips in private vehicles. ABC Adelaide said that the length of trips in the past few years has gone up by 5 minutes. Consider that the city of Adelaide, according to the council, swells by 200,000 people each workday. Banning e-scooters are an effective and sustainable way of reducing the amount of traffic in the city mile. Banning them is taking away a viable solution to the growing gridlock caused by short trips in our city. Now to my second point, that e-scooters are far more environmentally friendly than cars or public transport. The Guardian Australia states that e-scooters have lower greenhouse gas emissions than cars by some distance. Before they are even on the road, they already have a lower environmental impact. Cars and buses require many more materials, including lots of rare substances. The Australian government's Green Vehicle Guide says that cars amount for 11% of Australia's emissions. Wired magazine says e-scooters produce 4 grams of carbon dioxide per mile, compared to the 300 grams cars produce. Banning this eco-friendly option is allowing cars to dominate and pollute a day at a time. Finally, my third point is that e-scooters are constantly improving technology. Dr. Benjamin Corkman, scholar in city transport at Brisbane University, noted that the longer the trial for e-scooters in Brisbane, a city roughly the same size as Adelaide, took place, safety, speed and council regulations improved. Brisbane noted that in 3 months, over 100,000 people took 300,000 trips. Moreover, only 60 injuries occurred in this time, with the rate declining over that period. Speed is now slower, the same as Adelaide's. Banning scooters in Adelaide not only ignores the success of similar Australian cities, but also kills our learning from the data they are currently gathering. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, e-scooters not only provide a more suitable option for short trips in our city's CBD, but they also help with greenhouse gas emissions, as well as the fact that they are constantly improving. As renowned American author Tony Phillips once put it, stop being afraid of what could go wrong and be excited about what could go right. Thank you.
call upon the second affirmative speaker, Bianca Figueroa.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the affirmative team, strongly believe that this statement is utterly true. The first negative speaker has tried to tell you that they are a better option for short trips. This is true, however. Is this really the safest option by risking yourself and others to get to places quicker? They have also stated that they are good for the environment. This is wrong because e-scooters are easily damaged and have to be replaced by brand new ones. And then they have a damaged scooter and then a battery that goes to landfill, damaging the earth. This is why e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide. Finally, they stated that e-scooters are improving technology. This may be true, however, you never know when e-scooters are going to stop working because they are powered by batteries. Our first speaker has already stated that they are unsafe for riders, how they can become tripping hazards, and also how they are not accessible for everyone. Tonight, I'll be discussing my 3 points. Now to my first point, which is that e-scooters are unsafe for pedestrians walking the streets of Adelaide. According to mylicence.sa.gov.au, there are e-scooter laws and rules. One of the rules states that they may ride on footpaths and shared paths. A footpath is meant for feet, not wheels. As stated in our definition, e-scooters can ride at speeds up to 32 kilometres an hour. This is a ridiculous speed to ride among people walking. According to a survey reported on budgetdirect.com, nearly 2/3 of people wouldn't feel safe sharing the footpath with an e-scooter. Now to my second point, that e-scooters can be worse for the environment. According to digitaltrends.com, a new study suggests that they might be worse for climate change than the transportation methods they are replacing. QZ.com determined the average lifespan of a scooter to be 28.8 days. So e-scooters don't even last a full month. Having to replace e-scooters each month would be a massive strain on our economy and the environment. The opposition tonight may tell you that e-scooters may be considered as a clean form of transportation, yet their lifespan is far from sustainable and their parts could pose a danger to recycling facilities. This is why e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide. Now to my third and final point, that riders can misuse e-scooters. As I mentioned earlier, even though they are set rules, how can we ensure that people are following the rules accordingly? Even though there are terms and conditions that the rider has to accept before using the e-scooter, this does not stop people from accepting these terms without actually reading them. For example, a rider can be intoxicated and careless and therefore break all the rules without realising. According to abc.net.au, in the last month in Adelaide, 5 people have been reported for drunk driving. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we, the affirmative team, strongly believe that this statement is absolutely true. Thank you.
I call upon the second negative speaker, Adriel Imick.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is undeniably false. I will now proceed to point out a few flaws in the second affirmative speaker's arguments. Firstly, she tried to communicate that e-scooters litter walkways. This is wrong because e-scooter riders are forced to go slow and mind pedestrians. Legal consequences are involved when any harm is caused. She also attempted to say that e-scooters can be bad for the environment. This is wrong because their lifespan comes to the end when the replaceable batteries run out of power. Then they are taken in and their sustainable batteries are replaced. Our first speaker has already stated that e-scooters can effectively travel short distances as an alternative, that their energy source takes no toll on the ecosystem, and this transport is improving our technology and laws. Today I'll be discussing 2 points. My first point is that e-scooter ride rates are high and users are growing. 7 News noted that in August, the number of riders in Adelaide are growing, with 40,000 users taking over 150,000 trips in June and July. This is a staggering improvement on 18,000 users in March and April. Also, recently, when the tram shut down, Channel 9 said the e-scooters saved commuters, with the company even discounting rides during that transport problem. Ride numbers are increasing, meaning banning a clearly popular mode of transport would be ignoring the will of the people. The Government of South Australia Department of Planning, Transport and Infrastructure states that to ride an e-scooter you must be at least 18 years of age. So banning e-scooters would only affect the people at an age when they are allowed the most independence within the law. These people aged 18 plus can also make their own decisions and vote, so their voices should be heard. My second and final point is that e-scooters are innovative and meet our city's vision. The City of Adelaide City Vision says that Adelaide aspires to be a place where thoughtful innovation blends with nature. E-scooters meet this perfectly, as they are thoughtful and have built an innovative network of new travel that is not costly to nature. The Council, by approving and encouraging e-scooters, have promoted Adelaide-based e-company Ride, as well as importing Singaporean innovator Beam. Additionally, since all ride products are manufactured in Adelaide, the growing demand is creating jobs for locals. The City of Adelaide Economic Profile states that the Adelaide unemployment rate, last recorded in March this year, was 6.86%, with 888 people unemployed. This rate must decrease as Greater Adelaide, South Australia, and Australia all have lower unemployment rates. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, as Albert Einstein once said, if you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Thank you.
call upon the third affirmative speaker, Sophie Hurst.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first negative speaker has tried to tell you that it is a better option for short trips. This may be true, however. You have no idea where you're going to find e-scooters since people put them anywhere. The first negative speaker has also tried to tell you that e-scooters are more practical. This may be true, however, cars and other transport are still practical since they get you where you want and they're more faster than e-scooters. The first negative speaker has also tried to tell you that e-scooters are improving technology. This is true, however, we can't always trust technology to work. You never know where the scooter would run out of charge and stop working. The second negative speaker has tried to tell you that e-scooters' ride rates are high. This may be true, however. A survey on budgetdirect.com states that 60% of people don't want e-scooters and 40% want to use one. This is why e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. Our first speaker spoke to you about how they are unsafe for riders. She stated that CBCnews.com reports that a recent study shows that at least 8 people died while using a rented e-scooter. She also spoke about how they can become tripping hazards. Guardian.com states that blind and disabled people have been struggling to walk along footpaths because they feel like they are going to trip. She also stated that they are not accessible for everyone. This is because in order for them to work, you have to have an app on a device. Our second speaker spoke to you about how e-scooters are unsafe for pedestrians riding on footpaths. Footpath is unsafe and dangerous for pedestrians and riders. She also said that riders can misuse e-scooters. This is because even though there are set rules and police are having to issue many warnings and tickets for misuse of e-scooters, causing them to be dangerous. She also spoke about how e-scooters are bad for the environment. DigitalTrends.com, a new study, suggests that they might be worse for climate change than transportation methods they are replacing. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, our team strongly believes that e-scooters should be banned in Adelaide. Let's keep our footpaths safe and for what they are designed for. Thank you.
I call upon the third negative, Angus Wheeler.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that e-scooters in Adelaide should be banned. We, the negative team, truly and utterly believe that this statement is false. The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell you e-scooters aren't accessible to everyone. Even though this may be true, if a person is looking into travelling on an e-scooter in Adelaide, they would surely be in possession of a phone. Also, e-scooter apps can be unlocked by any devices with the app, not just necessarily phones. This makes it easier for citizens, which is why they should not be banned. The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you e-scooters are bad for the environment. This is incorrect, as cars are currently the most used form of transport in the CBD, which have a much greater congestion rate than e-scooters. If e-scooters are established, replacing car trips, then surely Adelaide's pollution level will go down.
If we ban e-scooters, all this will result in is higher pollution levels, which could possibly add to the global warming crisis of the world. The third affirmative speaker has tried to tell you e-scooters are biased against blind and disabled people. Even though this may be true, we have to understand that blind people have faced issues with transport in their day-to-day lives. While blind people face issues with e-scooters because they don't know where they are, it is also true they face issues with cars, bikes, and most other forms of transport, but that does not mean we have to ban them, does it? It just means that we could improve it to meet people's dreams, like what people are currently doing with self-driving cars and similar transport. Our first speaker has already spoke to you about how e-scooters can cut congestion rates majorly in the CBD. Around 12% of car trips in capital cities are around 1 and 2.5 kilometres, with a shocking 84% of these trips in private vehicles. With e-scooters, we could cut down on vehicle-based pollution severely. She also discussed with you that e-scooters are an efficient mode of transport as they are quick, cheap and easy to access. You can find them at almost any street with the small cost of 60 cents per minute. Our second speaker has talked to you about how many people have welcomed in e-scooters to their city. The Mangan Eye stated that every person to ride an e-scooter, which is in fact 50,000 people, has ridden it 2.7 times on average. This means many people favour them over cars or similar transport options. He also discussed with you how e-scooters are encouraging many other entrepreneurs to think and design sustainable forms of transport. By promoting and using e-scooters, we are raising new possibilities for renewable options. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we strongly and firmly believe that e-scooters should be allowed in Adelaide for countless reasons. The world is moving forward in improvising sustainable forms of transport, and banning e-scooters, which is an excellent alternative, is preventing us to move forward into a sustainable future. Thank you.